This is Rick Rule for Rule Investment Media and the Rule Classroom, sponsors of the 2025 Rule Natural Resources Investment Symposium, July 7 through 11 in Boca Raton, Florida, or via live stream from the comfort and convenience of your own home. A few things you need to know about the conference. The first is we're going to give you 50 hours of very dense and very valuable programming in 4 days, which, by the way, is more programming than you can possibly absorb over 4 days. To that end, the conference recordings will be available to you whether you attend live or whether you attend live stream, and you're going to need them. To get your money's worth out of the conference, you're going to have to apply yourself and work hard. There's a couple other things you need to know about the conference, too. The first is that before the conference, we interview every exhibitor and every speaker so that you arrive for the 4 days of the conference fully prepared to allocate your time and your capital. We urge you to study the companies and contact the companies even before the conference so that your time at the conference can be more efficient. You also need to know that at my conference, unlike any other investment conference in the world, every single public company exhibitor has been vetted, which is to say, if they aren't owned and accounts owned and managed by the conference sponsors and myself, they don't appear on my exhibit floor. We turn down more exhibitors every year than we accept. There's no guarantee, of course, because I own a stock, the stock goes up. But there is a guarantee that unlike any other investment conference on the planet, every single exhibitor has been very, very thoroughly vetted. One other thing. We're confident enough in this product, we've been putting it on for 30 years, that if you attend as a paid attendee and for any reason you don't think you got your money's worth, we will refund 100% of your tuition. The financial risk of this conference is all mine, unlike any other investment conference on the planet. End of the commercial. Let's get on to the interview. I have the good fortune today of interviewing two fairly young men, I say fairly, compared to me young men, who I've known for a very long time. And I know them in the best possible way. They made me a whole bunch of money in the past. And as I suggested, I'm a shareholder of their company today. The company is Lara Exploration. The two gentlemen are Simon Ingram and Chris MacIntyre, as I say, two men that I've known for 2 decades. Gentlemen, beginning with Simon, please introduce yourself and let our audience know why they should care about the answers to the upcoming nosy questions.
Thanks, Rick. My name's Simon Ingram. I'm the CEO of Lara Exploration. I'm a geologist by training. We're quite passionate about doing geology. We're all in about discovery and development. I've got a PhD in minerals resource evaluation, and I've been working in the industry for a couple of decades now. And we were good fortune to have made discoveries. So the key, you only make money when you make discoveries in our business. And we've made, over the years, a number of discoveries, but a particular last one, which made, frankly, Rick and many of our shareholders a boatload of money, was Reservoir Minerals. Reservoir Minerals started as an explorer using the prospect generator model that Rick has so well supported over the years. But we started off with a fairly cheap share price, 65 cents, market cap about 13 million Canadian. And we exited after making the world's 13th largest discovery in 3 decades of copper in Serbia. And we exited at $9.40. We created $500 million of value for shareholders, and we sold that company in a very tight timeline. We had 60 days to come up with a deal to buy an asset from Freeport, who are our partners. Yeah, we like doing our job. We really enjoy doing our job, and we like making money for our shareholders. And we're very pleased to say that we have a lot of shareholders who've made money with us before still supporting us. So that's a brief story.
Chris, same question. Talk to people about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Chris MacIntyre, and Rick, amazingly, July 2008 was my introduction to the business at your conference. And it's been a tremendous experience, and I've generated a lot of wealth for myself, but a lot of investors that have gone to your conferences. And believe it or not, the conferences that you've had, there's at least 10 of them that are on speed dial and call me every day. And I'm happy to talk to those gentlemen every day. And some of them have come to visit us in Serbia, in other jurisdictions where, we do industrial tourism, if you will, with them and really demonstrate our love for the business and our love and passion. But also, I'm not a geologist. I have a commerce degree. And at the end of the day, I want to make money for our investors and ourselves. And I've been with Lara since 2008. We think we've made 3 discoveries in the copper space. And Simon has come in recently in January and reevaluated what we've done with Capstone. And we see tremendous upside moving forward. But I'll let Simon share that story. But yes, I'm happy to talk to our investors anytime.
Well, let's start. The previous success was copper or copper gold, I guess more properly in Serbia. Today's activity, and by the way, I should emphasize that today's activity is 25 years old, probably. We all work 2 decades to be overnight successes. But anyway, Simon, tell us something about the prospect developer project developer, Lara, Brazil focused, I think. Tell us something about what it is. Tell us something about the sum of the parts, and tell us something. Well, we'll get to the individual assets later. Just tell us what you're trying to accomplish and how you're going to make money for shareholders.
Yeah. So we're a project generator or prospect generator, classic business model, not to blow up the capital structure while you explore. And if you can explore long enough and you're good enough, you'll find something. This company's found a number of discoveries in Brazil, Peru are the main focuses here. A whole range of commodities that we've looked at. Discovery is the value creator here. And we've gone past being a prospect generator, frankly. We've already generated. So we're a developer now. We're developing an asset, a key asset in the Carajás. And that is a discovery. We made it with a partner. We run partnership models. Capstone spent $10 million. And at the end of it, wasn't quite big enough for Capstone. They grew as a bigger company, moved on. So we are a prospect generator who's generated 50 million shares out, never done a rollback, been going 18 years, 5 million in treasury, and we have a fantastic 100% owned open pit copper gold project. Not so dissimilar that we had in Reservoir. We made a discovery with a partner in Reservoir and we bought that partner out and sold the asset. Doing the same thing, essentially, smaller asset. It's not the 13th biggest discovery in the world in the last 3 decades, but it's a top 10 in the last decade. And that just shows it's 800,000 tons of copper, open pitable, in the Carajás, one of the best jurisdictions in the world to develop a mine. And that's what's key. You can find a discovery. If you don't build a mine, or you can't build that mine, you can't permit that mine, you don't make any money. And your shareholders don't make any money. And we're 20% we own 20% of the company as a team. So we are just as motivated as our shareholders to make money, probably more because it means a lot more to us and we can actually affect some change. So we're there, we've discovered an asset and we're moving it through the study stages. It's open pit, it's on the highway. Well, the highway goes through the license, actually. The power lines go through the license. It's 200 million tons resource. We put the resource out. We've seen a big share bump since we've done that. When I joined about a year ago, the company's been going 18 years, but we've all worked together in previous companies. When I joined about a year ago with 50 cents. We're about 180 today, Chris. I'm not sure.
We're in the 90s, 190s now, Simon.
190s. That's obviously the anticipation of doing this presentation to you, Rick. But so we have a really unusual asset, and it's unusual because it's in the heart of Carajás, one of the top mining jurisdictions in the world that has a lot of infrastructure, mining infrastructure, 2 towns full of mining people. We're on a cattle station, which means there's no rainforest, there's no First Nations where we are. We have very easy access, all year access to our project. And the most interesting thing about this project, it can move fast. Para State, where we are, is one of the best states to develop mines because they've been doing it for a long time. G Mining built a mine last year. Aero built a mine last year. They all came on stream. No problems. The state permit stuff. And what's exciting is that this project can move fast. One thing is being able to permit a mine. Can you build it? And this state allows you to build mines quickly because it's very supportive and gets mines. And so I think the exciting thing that we're doing our technical studies at the moment. We're looking at maybe about 35,000 tons of copper a year, which it's not massive, but it's definitely very relevant. And it's very interesting to others that need new mines as well. 35,000 tons of copper production could be in production in 5 years if we follow the permitting and we fund it. So from that sense, this is what makes money. And in a rising copper market, you need an asset that can go into production quickly. It's no use being 3,000 meters up in the Andes or 6,000 meters up in the Andes with no water and a capex bill of a couple of $1 billion. We're looking for something 500 million or less. So this is what can be financed and will be financed. Frankly, that's our belief, and financed quickly. So this is what makes money is things that can get to production real quick. And copper is probably one of the best commodities to be in right now. It's simple. We've got really clean concentrate. Most of the smelters will die for this because they can blend it with other dirty concentrates. And yeah, you don't see that in the world. And right now, everyone's hunting for concentrates. The smelters are paying premiums to get the concentrate. Before you had to pay them to smelt your stuff. Today, they pay us. So we're in a great place. Chris, did you want to add anything?
Simon, I think you've succinctly put it together. It's a great project.
Chris, you do want to add something. Let's make this concrete. What's your market cap? How much cash do you have in the treasury? And what stage of documentation is this? Is it at PEA? Is it at PFS? Is it at BFS? In other words, what I want to know is roughly, I know you can't give an exact number, but roughly what you think it's worth today, or what third parties think it's worth, what it's selling for, and how you're likely to add value in the ensuing 5 years. What's the investment thesis?
Well, cash is easy we've got roughly about 5 million in treasury. We've got a market cap is a little bit under 100 million Canadian. In US dollar terms, that's, what is that? 65, 70 million US. And really the thesis is, we've only put out a resource and we're working towards the PEA. So it's hard to concretely put that value parameter on it. But if you look at what is 800,000 tons that contain copper in a marketplace, it's worth, well over 500 million.
When might that PEA be out? I realize that a PEA is nothing like a final document, but a PEA is a wonderful way to get a financial target. When might the PEA be out?
Do you want me to address that?
Yeah.
So it's super interesting because we're doing a Brazilian PEA because we're de-risking the project for permitting essentially. So we've done a big focus around a Brazilian style PEA. So that's to get our mining concession. So we'll submit that in a matter of months to apply for our mining concession, gives much more security on the license. And we've also done it, we've done quite a detailed study to understand what the footprint of the operation will be. So we want to know where our tailings dams are going to, where our waste dumps are, what does our plant look like, what's it cost? Because we need all of that to understand where we're going to put the plant and the rest of the mine, and then understand which parts of that land we need to study for the environmental baseline study. And the environmental permits are the key permits you want to get. So we're laying all that up now, and we've been doing this work for quite a few months now. So that Brazilian one's moving ahead. Then on the back of that, we're going to write up the PEA. Brazilian one's focused about how does the mine impact society? How does the mine impact environment? PEA 43101 Canadian style, how much is it worth? How much money are we going to make from it? And technically, how's it going to get built? So we hope to get that out sort of June, July. I'm just starting to engage the consultants. I'm just about to engage the consultants. I'm fighting with consultants over costs at the end of the day. That's what we do first, and then we engage them. But that's kind of where we are. So June, July, we're not, because they're not engaged yet. I can't guarantee timing, but that's kind of where we want to be. And this is going to be a good PEA because we can benchmark to a bunch of mines that have just been built. We've got 2 of them in the state of power already, and it's a simple mining operation. We could, it's open pit. You dig it out and you put it in a crusher. You grind it and you float the concentrate. It's just like all other mines going. We have cheap power in the district. 3.5 cents was a recent feasibility study from mine nearby. That's 3.5 cents hydroelectric. Green energy, as it turns out, because hydroelectric is some of the cheapest energy in the world because they have huge hydro dams in Brazil and they oversupply this district. Our PEA is going to be good. It's going to be interesting because it shows we know we're mining 150, 130 million tons. We start off mining 0.5%. Our mineralization is higher grade and near surface. So it means you get your payback quicker because you're going to dig it straight out of the surface and you're going to put it into your plant when you built it. So these things make a difference on projects. We're not up a mountain, we're in flat land. We have a beautiful flat laterite area where we can put the plant right next to us. We just got to move the cattle off, and access is easier. We've got the highway running through it. Two huge high tension power lines run right through the middle of the project. We've got two mining towns right next to us, and this is proper mining country. This is big machinery, construction outfits there. I was with a engineering construction company last visit. They have 1,000 steel erectors in the district working on Vale project. Vale's always doing huge expansions down and the like. So the labour locally is immense. So and you can't underestimate what that's worth when you build a project. We won't even build a camp for them to stay overnight. They'll stay in the local town. They'll just drive to work. This would be one of the nicest jobs you can have. You get in your car, you drive 20 minutes, and you're at the mine.
Chris, might I suggest that you lower your energy costs by hooking Simon up to a turbine?
We're enthusiastic, because we can see.
I also humbly suggest that you use your best efforts to have this PEA ready by July 7th, when the world's finest natural resources investment conference comes about. To the extent that our listeners are impressed by your prior success at Reservoir and desirous of participating in your next success, who particularly might they contact, and how specifically might they find that person?
Simon, you mind if I take this one?
I think that's just right up your street, Chris.
Okay, so first, prior to coming to the conference or after the conference, it's best to call me. So 2 ways to contact me. First is you can email me at Chris, CHRIS, at Lara Exploration. That's at LARAEXPLORATION.com. Chris at laraexploration.com. I will be adventurous and give you my personal phone number on my mobile. That's 416-346-7660, as well as the office line that goes directly to me, 416-703-0010. If I don't respond within an hour, please give me 24 hours, as I'm probably traveling somewhere in the world, as I've been known to do with Simon many times. We've been all over the world together. So we do respond, and if we don't respond within 24 hours, please reach out to me again, as there may be technical difficulty alongside. But the best way to get a hold of us is come to the conference, as we are there to meet with you, speak with you, communicate with you, understand, and have you walk away almost feeling like you're part of the team, and with so much detail. That is what we're there for, and that is why we're spending the time we do there, to get to make sure you fully embrace and understand what we're passionate about and why we continue to buy our own stock, eat our own cooking.
I think that was a great summary by the always shy Simon Ingram and Chris MacIntyre. Ladies and gentlemen, I've known these people for a very, very long time. They are, in fact, serially successful. They have improved my performance in the natural resources speculation business. So I would encourage you to reach out to them. As always, gentlemen, thank you for a couple decades of effort on behalf of mining investors, particularly myself. And thank you, too, for many years of support of the Natural Resources Investment Symposium. I look forward to hosting you in Boca Raton, Florida.
We very much look forward to coming, and thank you very much for the time today. We enjoyed it.